Hey, everybody. I am so excited to share with you well, it's hard to say what my favorite points are, but the pretty, pretty up there of my favorite points, especially these 3 points as it relates to stress, anxiety, emotional balancing, mental emotional balancing. These are going to be go-to points for you. So I really wanted to, especially in this day and age, really wanted to start with these oils and help you understand a little bit more about the points, how to locate them, a little bit more of the energetics of the point, and also some possible oils to use with these points. And just remembering that there's not a one size fits all. There are oils that have an affinity for certain points and meridian systems and organ systems, but you have to understand why you're using them, right? So that's things that we're going to be uncovering inside the membership. And I hope this helps you understand the points and the energetics and the oil combinations just a little bit more. All right, let's get going. Okay, so the first point is called Yin Tang. Before I put my glasses on, I want to first tell you about the location. So basically, it's the midway point or the medial ends, meaning the inside ends of the two eyebrows, right? So basically, you're talking about somewhere there, right? Somewhere in between the eyebrows. Sometimes it's a little bit up. As you start playing and touching point, you're going to start feeling energetically where that point is. So for me, it's a little bit higher on me. So if I was feeling impatient or feeling the point on somebody else, I would just you just know, you'll see, you'll just know, you'll just have a sense that it's not always, we have anatomical ways to get to the point, but sometimes it's not exact, right? Because everybody's different. So anyway, it's basically what we'll call the third eye, right? So its name is called Sea Hall or Seal Hall, sorry, or Hall of Impressions or Central Dwelling. It's got a couple of different names. I'm sorry, I'm kind of looking this way because my little camera picture of me is this way. So as if you are there. So sorry, I'll try to look ahead. I love this point so much. So some of the actions that you will experience with this point are calming the spirit, calms the mind. It actually also calms spasms. So, any kind of pain. And it really brightens the eyes and opens the nose due to its more than location. That's a very specific for its location, right? So some of the indications that you might consider using this point would be for anxiety, stress, insomnia. It can treat frontal headache as well as congestion, especially those the sinus or when you're having more of that sinusitis or sinus headaches that are frontal, can also be used as create a sense of insight and clarity. I love using lavender on this point for my patients. It really brings a quick sense of calm to them. Now, you can use lavender with this point for conditions of irritability, tension, frustration, anger, fire flaring. So when you just might need to calm that fire a little bit, especially as it relates to headaches. It's also good for PMS symptoms, like when there's agitation and irritation, irritability, agitation, insomnia again. And here's the thing about this point, because it calms the spirit and it eases anxiety and worry, it also brings profound presence. So when I'm feeling like I need to center or calm or go inward, I'll often use that point, especially if I'm doing a contemplation exercise. Some people might use it for meditation. And I love this point to activate my innate intuition. This point activates our third eye, or some people might call it the sixth chakra, which is the center of intuition and spiritual vision, right? So using this for that, more like that vision that you have for yourself, that inner vision. And it actually activates the pituitary gland, thereby fostering connection to others, to spirit, and to nature. So I love this point. And the reason why I love lavender on it is that lavender has this, and we'll go deeper into lavender, obviously, in a separate one, but it has this gentle chi moving effect, right? So super gentle. So as you're opening up that intuition, as you're calming the mind, it's just a super gentle connection that lavender has with this point. All right, keep moving forward. Now we're talking about ear Shen Men. So we've talked about this point. You've probably heard me talk about this point as it relates to bergamot, right? Or some people say bergamot, tomato, tomato. It's located in the upper part and that's supposed to say lateral, lateral part of the triangular fossa of the ear. So I'm going to get a separate chart, but basically the triangular fossa is this little divot you have in your ear. Now, when you look at it, if you look at, if you're needling, which obviously we are not, we get very specific about its location, and we call it fish's eye because that's the location. So if you look at the triangular fossa and you think about this little area, you get even closer, as what looks like a fish's head. And the point is actually where the eye of the fish's face would be on the side. So imagine a fish's head and where the eye would be. So that kind of helps I find the point. So some of its actions are to calm the spirit, calms the mind, and spasms, and alleviates pain and reduces inflammation. So it is really one of those one of those points that can just connect. It helps you connect. It also, like Yin Tang, helps you connect with spirit. It's called the gateway to the spirit. So some of its function is to work if there's anxiety, stress, insomnia, any kind of feeling of disconnection from self and spirit. And it's also used as part of a protocol called the 5NP for addiction. So it's a really important point for people who have addiction. And this can be any kind of addiction. It could be drugs, alcohol, cigarettes. I actually treated a patient with a sex addiction with this point. So it's really a powerful, and it was successful. Like, it was crazy. I was like, okay. So it worked. And of course, as you guys know, bergamot is my go-to oil for this point, with its ability to disconnect in that point, help with anxiety, helps kind of bring people back into balance. Like I said, I use this point on every single one of my patients, even if I'm not. I mean, you always have to treat what Dr. Tron, one of my teachers, would always say, you always have to treat the mental, emotional. Like, if you're not treating that, you're not doing a complete treatment. So it's kind of analogous to our body. There's a point, our body, Shen Men, which is heart 7. So, and its functions largely pertain to the heart, like the body Shen Men. It's the earth point, and that's the sedation point of the heart meridian. In addition to treating stress and anxiety, Shen Men is used in combination with other ear points to treat pain, inflammatory conditions, and like I said, addictions. The Neijing, as far as it relates to pain and inflammation, the Neijing, which is an ancient text, reminds us when the heart is serene, all pain is negligible. It really does create a deep connection to the mind and spirit. It's a really beautiful point. All right. And lastly, we are going to talk about liver 3. Love liver 3. Such a powerful point. It's on the dorsum, meaning the top of, in this case, the foot, in the depression distal to the junction between the first and second metatarsal bones, the first and second toe. So basically what that means is if this is your big toe and this is your little toe, you're going to basically the web and you're going to follow that point back, that space back between the first and second toe. And you're going to fall into a divot. You're going to fall into a place where you just know it's that point. And very often, by the way, it's tender on people. Rarely do I find a patient or a person who it's not tender on. It calms the liver and extinguishes internal liver wind. We'll explain more about what that means. It regulates and smooths the liver qi, which is really important, nourishes liver yin, powerfully moves qi and blood, alleviates pain, and regulates menstruation. It's indicated so that the liver, if you read my wood element post, the wood element relates to the liver, which is expressed in the eyes. So therefore, it actually treats eye conditions, again, menstrual difficulties, headaches, jaundice, liver and gallbladder are paired organs, hepatitis, pain, neurological conditions due to liver wind. So liver wind, think of it like, and if you remember, wood element, I'm going to do a separate training on all the elements, don't worry. Wood element relates to liver, and the weather that's associated to it condition is wind. So spring wind, right? It's often windy in the springtime because that's the season. So, and wind often will manifest in like a tremor, shaky condition, Parkinson's. So this is a really good point to help subdue that wind. Insomnia, right? Anger, irritability, depression, digestive disorders. These are very common characteristics when it comes to like that liver channel. When those conditions are up, you think liver, right? You think liver from a Chinese medicine perspective. This is really the best point to move qi and blood throughout the entire body. Once that liver qi is moving, then all of the qi throughout the whole body is moving, especially when you're combining it with large intestine 4. So if you think about it anatomically, they're in the same spot. Just one's on the hand and one's on the foot. And together they are called the 4 gates, and they're responsible for moving qi and blood throughout the body. And we really like, in that case, bergamot on those points are really, really good. Or you can mix one bergamot, blue tansy, or lavender, and any of those, that combination you can just play with. As the liver channel actually starts down between the 2 toes and then moves all the way up, it actually encircles the reproductive organs. Therefore, it treats most any gynecological condition. So it's a great point for stress that leads to liver qi stagnation and digestive disorders. We have a condition that we often see a condition called liver overtaking spleen, which often leads to digestive disorders because of its relationship to the eyes. Most conditions of the eye can also be supported with this point as well. I just love this point for mental, emotional aspect, especially as it relates to anger and or depression. And blue tansy actually has a very strong affinity for the liver meridian. And so using it on liver 3 is very, very effective for the common condition of liver qi stagnation. It's great with liver. Li4 and lavender and bergamot also great here with its gentle moving ability and calming effect. Okay, that is it for today's points. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you got a lot of value. And if you have any questions, you can meet me in the Facebook group. And of course, during our monthly Q&A, Ask Me Anything. Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this actual bonus lesson that I have inside AccuOil Alchemy. If you want to join AccuOil Alchemy and be one of the students, hundreds of students that have learned the essential oil acupoint method, I highly encourage you to click the link below, check it out. Let me know if you have any questions, and I would love to support you. Meanwhile, keep tuning in here to my YouTube channel, subscribe and like so that I can keep bringing you new content week after week. All right, thanks. Take care.